close your eyes.
Fierce, relentless. The Monster Mile. A tough race ahead, Miles the Monster can turn any driver's solid car into chewed up scraps. This is the KerBlamKing Racing 180 at Dover Motor Speedway, presented by WoodyxCA. Pete, I don't know about you, but I am ready for Dover tonight as we see a car slide by getting ready for qualifying. But man, oh man, what a race we are about to have.
Absolutely, Eliza, and I definitely cannot wait to see just how much carnage Miles the Monster is able to chew up and spit out. Hopefully, with the hopefully he's had enough of Xfinity or other trucks or what other series run at the old Dover Downs. But I'm absolutely ready to call this race with you. Been looking forward to this one for a while. Who do you have tonight, Eliza?
Well, let's talk about last season. Last season, we had a couple of drivers that led quite a few laps. We had Honeycutt, who led 66 laps. He led the most out of all the drivers. However, he got involved in an incident and was a couple of laps down by the finish. It was Holzer who actually won the race, and he led 54 laps. O'Brien is going to be up there, and Harmon, he finished second and third. So, I don't even know. Is Holzer here tonight? Because I know he likes to sneak in last second. I see him way down there at the bottom. So we'll see if he qualifies. But I think he is up there. I think O'Brien, Andrew Wisdom, Jimmy Cocker, all these guys have a really good shot at getting the victory tonight.
Absolutely, James Holster, he can never be denied on any kind of a track we go to, whether it's your average cookie cutter, or super speedway, a road course, whatever it is. The man in that 17 is a very, very formidable opponent. But you talked about Matt O'Brien, Tom Harmon, and Andrew Wisdom. How about those three right now in the top three in points? 11 points between O'Brien and Harmon. Harmon back to Wisdom, just a mere few points as well. In fact, Eliza, the top 14 guys in the driver standings, all within 100 striking points of Matt O'Brien, who's been our current leader now for a few weeks.
Yeah, points are very, very close. But man, take a look at these times for qualifying. Tom Flitcroft, a 23:31. Matthew O'Brien, a 23:33. Jackson Glenn Austin, 23:36. Jordan McGraw. All these guys extremely close. But Micah, he was at the top of the board for practice. Extremely fast. And I'm trying to take a look. He's so far fifth. So we'll see if he can't speed that up and get on the pole out here. But Wisdom overtakes it with a 23.27.
Yeah, some bad fast times around Dover, and I was keeping an eye on some of the guys that went out there and really ran a long run, trying to see what they can get out of their front right, what they were going to able to get out of their right rear. Practicing pit road. Stopping, getting down to pit road speed, I should say. And it seemed like about the first 12 to 13 laps, most people were in the 23s. For about another 12 to 14 laps, they were in the in the 22s, then in the 23s for another 12 or 14 laps, and then they were in the 24s after that until it came time to come on down for a pit stop. But I can bet you one thing, Eliza, every stop these guys make will be for brand new Eagle Feel Goods and top it off.
Oh, yeah, these guys are definitely going to have to watch their tires, their tire wear. Make sure that you are not running those rights ragged. I mean, some of these guys are going to want to drive it in, but you have to use that self-control with it and make sure you take care of them. It's so easy to do here, but yeah, we're going to see a wild race here. Wisdom still on pole with a 23-27, and we still have a couple of more drivers out. Let's see if we can get on board with him. Hunter Johnson, you see him out here. I do believe, did he win last week? I think it was extremely close out there. We have a few drivers that have 2 wins each. So, yeah, it's going to be close, Pete.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, he barely beat out second and third at Dega for his first win of the season, I believe. But yeah, Andrew Wisdom right now, Matt Burgess and Tom Flitcroft, old Tom Flitty right now, all within 3/100ths of each other. And how about the 68 of Tom Harmon for fourth, and Matt O'Brien, again, our current points leader, right now sitting P5.
Yeah, he's looking good out there. Jimmy Cocker is out on the track. He's currently sitting P14. We'll see if that improves, but it looks like he is going in. Jose Ruiz, he's out on track, currently sitting P19 with a 23.52. Times are extremely quick, but not as quick as they were in practice. So Wisdom still holding out with a 0.27. Matt in that 12 machine right behind him with a 0.28. So extremely close. I think we're going to have a lot of battling, but in order to pass here, it's going to be extremely difficult. You're going to get tail happy coming out of the corners, loose going in mid corners. So it's going to be a handful tonight, Pete.
Yeah, a lot of these guys were having steering issues. So a few weeks back at Richmond getting in. Hopefully they don't have the same issue, trying to dive into the corner. Talking about Jose Ruiz in that U.S. Air Force number 23, honoring very, very close by Dover Air Force Base, who always puts on a great flight performance just before the races get kicked off here.
Yeah, the races are getting ready to move along here for 180 laps. And on the grid, we're going to go ahead and get this started. Andrew Wisdom will be on pole in that 51 machine with Matt Burgess on the outside. In row 2, we're going to have Tom Flitcroft in the 8 machine with Thomas Harmon in that 68 beside him. Matt O'Brien in the 43 along with Hunter Johnson in row 3. In row 4, we have Jackson Glenn Austin in the 21 car with Jordan McGraw on the outside. And in row 5, we're going to have Jose Ruiz with Brody Falliker on his outside.
Yeah, for row 6, going to be Joe Turley in the 97 with John Honeycutt in that Team FTR number 50 sitting P12. P13, talking about Micah Allard in the 61 with Kyle Taub to his outside. Jimmy Cocker in that number 11 sitting P15. P16, Connor Cunningham in the 3. Luke Allen in the 7 sitting 17th with PJ O'Leary in the 24. P19, Justin Aniscock, brand new to Shake and Bake, running the 47, and to his outside is going to be the 91 Rivers Jones.
All right, in 21st, we have Cody Kalinka with Riley Rosenbrook directly next to him. In 23rd, we have James Holzer with Jeff No on his outside. In 25th, we have Matthew Galen 67 machine for Nitro Motorsports alongside Jacob Locklear in the 84. In 27th, we have Jarrett Cardwell in the 2 machine with Francis Hamilton on his outside. In 29th, we have Joe Berg in the 93 car with Robert Holder in the 30th place. 31st, we have Jacob Zaff with Brian Pizzy Kimmy right next to him. Jacob Palmer in 33rd with Dylan C. Robb in 34th. And last but not least, we have Philip Bridgman sitting P35.
Yeah, 35 Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series drivers ready to tackle Miles the Monster at the Monster Mile. And what a phenomenal race this is going to be. As you said, a lot of these guys going to get very tail happy coming off the corner. Hopefully they don't have any issues going in. I think sometimes when we talk to these guys pre-race, Eliza, they say, boy, there's going to be a big challenge. But you know what? When they know it's going to be a challenge and they're buckled in, they're ready for the long run, we usually have a pretty good race. I'm excited to see what we've got coming ahead.
I'm excited too. I think last season we had a really solid race. There might be a little bit of aggression coming out in the final part of the race. It's the final part. Everyone is going for everything, but Pete, we're getting ready to go with Andrew Wisdom. He's going to lead us to green with Matt on the outside. So it's going to be very, very close here. We are back to green for 180 laps here at Dover in the 51. What a start for him. He's got a little bit of a lead with Tom Flitcroft sitting in second, and you can see Matt on his outside. These guys are too wide all the way through, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely, going down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. 43 and Matt O'Brien and the 12 now side by side. The 12 and the high side really did not get up and get going, as now Jackson Glenn Austin's going to challenge him for the spot.
Matt Burgess right behind him. We do have a slow car down on the inside of the track. Not quite sure who that is, but everyone's getting on by. And I'll tell you what, it is extremely difficult. I talked to some of these drivers, and I've driven it enough to know that you have to ride that line, especially when you're starting out. You have to especially feather that throttle going through the corner and coming out of the exit. If you don't, and you don't let off, it is going to fling you to the wall. And I can assure you, that wall, it comes up fast.
Oh, it comes up very, very fast. I mean, this track getting into and out of the corner is kind of like a roller coaster ride. Going into the corner, you're going downhill. You're really stuck in that banking, and then you got to ride that roller coaster back up and out of the hill, going down the straightaway. You got to battle for the lead. The 51 of Andrew Wisdom now trying to hold the 8 of Tom Flitcroft off, but Eliza behind these guys, there's a whole lot single file.
There is a whole lot of guys just going for position, single file. We got double file out here, but man, oh man, Andrew Wisdom, he is about to be under attack by Tom Flitcroft. He has caught him, and he is making his way up to his back bumper, trying to make that pass for the lead. We're on lap 5 of 180, and take a look at that train. That is quite a sight.
Absolutely, from up high. I mean, it's all single file. I think everybody right now is just concentrating on racing the track. If they happen to catch up to somebody like the one is doing with the 23 of Jose Ruiz as he gets in underneath them, then so be it. Other than that, there's really not much of a reason this early in the race to put up much of a fight. You could tell him, all right, you go ahead, one car, you ride it out, but I'll catch you later after your right front is done for.
Yeah, qualifying here is so incredibly important. You kind of have to make sure that you have a nice strategy in order to make a pass over the guy in front of you. If you're out there and just going left and right and trying to make passes, you're just going to wear down those right side tires. You can see Brody Falliker trying to make his way past Thomas Harmon. He planned that. That is not something that he's just like, well, let me send it. Hopefully it sticks. Qualifying, if you have to be out front, if not, you have to make sure you know when to pass so you don't wear down those tires.
Absolutely. Talking about last week's winner right now, the 18 of, I just had him a moment ago, excuse me, I apologize. The 18 of Hunter Johnson, there we go. He just got on by the 23 and the 68. Actually, no, he fell back. It was Micah Allard making up those spots now, so something must have happened with Hunter. But here comes Micah underneath the 23 of Jose Ruiz, now all over the back end of that 68 of Tom Harmon. Speaking of Tom Harmon, he was one of these guys that I was kind of looking at for some long run detail. You can have a good dozen or baker's dozen worth of laps under your belt before you get out of certain second brackets. It should be a great race for those that practice those long runs earlier.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I know Harmon, he does a solid job consistently throughout these seasons and race by race. I think he's saving, Pete. He's letting these guys go by saying, you know what? You guys go do your thing. I'm not fighting you. And he is one that is not willing to let go of his position quite easily. So that is telling me that right now in that 68 machine, he's saying, you guys have at it. I'm going to save my stuff for now.
How about all the way back to about P18, P19 between Cody Kalinka and Joe Turley? I mean, they're all single file. From the 11 of Jimmy Cocker all the way up, except for the occasional I can get into the corner better than you kind of deal. They are all single file. This is kind of interesting. Looks like just a conveyor belt of cars around this 1 mile track.
Conveyor belt of cars, but take a look at a new leader, Tom Flitcroft. He overtakes Andrew Wisdom, heads to the lead. He's up 2 spots from where he started. So I'm kind of excited. We've seen him win a race this season, but I know his consistency hasn't been exactly where he's wanted to be at. So I'm kind of curious if he can stay here tonight. And I don't know if you caught what I just caught, Pete, but coming off that exit, I saw the 8 and Andrew Wisdom get a little tail happy into that wall. That could be an iRacing netcode thing, but it could be that they got a little too close out there.
Absolutely, definitely could be a little too close, or Uncle Netcode did take a flight into Dover. But so far, I'm kind of liking what I see. And coming up off these corners, again, riding that roller coaster up the hill, you do have to kind of open up the wheel a little bit. Let the wheel straighten out as much as you can, so you're not abusing that right front. Every little bit of turn that you have going into a corner just scrubs the tires, scrubs speed. You gotta try to minimize that as much as possible. And oh, by the way, the more your front tires are straight, the faster you're going to be.
Oh, absolutely. Let's take a look at this KerBlamKing right now. Huge thank you to our sponsor, our race sponsor for the evening, KerBlamKing Racing 180 at Dover. Take a look at his YouTube, you guys. He does such a fantastic job out there. He has a modded series, and he takes us through what he's doing, how he's racing, who he's racing against. It's a lot of fun, so be sure to check him out. Subscribe to him out on YouTube. You might even catch me out there. I know I'm in one of those cars, so cheer me on. I did a little bit of work. We have to update our series, update our strategy on what we want to work on. Short tracks, super speedways, you name it. It's a fun series. Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I went to his YouTube page earlier. I believe I watched a race of his from Phoenix. And you know how you get into some of those races where it gets really, really boring, really drawn out? He doesn't do that on his streams because they're all edited. So you'll see the lap, but they're in like 4 times speed or something like that. So he'll get through all the boring parts and he'll tell you, I'll be back on the mic as soon as this part is done or just before the end of the stage, tell you what's going on. So yeah, he keeps you informed, lets you know what he's doing, what he's thinking, which driver he's got to worry about. He tells you who he's a rival with and so much more. Definitely worth catching. Again, go on over, give him a follow, and in his comments, tell him we sent you. Tell him we said hi.
Absolutely. Snow Leopard, what's up? I think, you know what, you can try it. You're more than welcome to try it. I know I turned it off for F1. I checked it. I think on a couple of streams, it got a little crazy with all the sound effects, so I turned it off for that. It may be on for this. You're more than welcome to try it out. Squirrel, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you guys for tuning in here, but take a look at this. Jose Ruiz, Thomas Harmon, quite the battle brewing up out here. Hunter Johnson. We have Honeycutt out here. These guys are really starting to fight for position. And man, we got a lot of battles going out throughout the field. Jackson Glenn Austin, this is going to be for a P4. Got some close racing out here, Pete.
Yeah, look at that top 3 there, literally all over each other. Again, talking about Tom Flitcroft, who took the lead and never looked back. He's kind of been watching that 51 just stalk him in that mirror. 43 of Matt O'Brien. Now he sees the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin, as you just said. But look at Brody Falker right now, up 5 spots in that number 1 Team FIWB Camaro. He's getting closer and closer. That guy continues to impress. From between season 1 to season 2, I mean, the man was top 5, top 10 every single week. I believe last season he did grab a win. This season, he's still hungry.
He is still hungry, and I don't know if you guys caught that, but Andrew is getting a little loose coming out of the exit there. Brody Falliker was driving a little bit higher than some of these drivers, but take a look at this wheel. He is just going back and forth with it, really trying to get it to hold steady. It's so easy to want to lose the wheel out here because, you know, Miles the Monster, he is not too kind, but he's got a great run off on Jackson Glenn Austin, and he's going to go side by side with him. Let's see if he can go for the maneuver here. Here he goes. It is very, very close, almost up into his the left side of him, but he is able to make the pass. He goes up to P4.
Yeah, 21 in the 1, very, very close on that right rear. 21, I think it might have cut him just a little bit of a break, as now he's just going to settle in behind the 1 of Brody Falliker. Hey, if Brody was able to run him down, maybe he's running a faster line. Kind of sit there behind him a little bit, see what he's doing, see how you can adjust your line. It might just adjust your time, your lap times as well.
Let's go back here. P19, this is Connor Cunningham. He is directly behind another battle, and this is going to be James Holzer. Take a look at this. I don't think that he even, he came up 5 spots from where he started. He's right next to Justin in that 47. So these guys, extremely close. We have Connor going for position on the outside. This is a battle you do not want to be in for a long time. Again, your right side tires, if you're battling this over and over, they will get worn out and your car is going to be very unhappy. You're going to be sliding through the corners.
How about that 3, though? Making the pass around the outside. And even when he was clear, the 17 of James Holzer, he didn't come down. Even in the corner right now, except for the very exit, he's not on the bottom. He's keeping it in that second to third, or maybe second and a half, if there is such a thing, groove off the bottom, not to scrub the tires and make him really, really angry on the bottom as he gets a little loose. Can he save it? Cross the start stripe. The 3 continues to move forward.
He is still moving, and we're on board with Riley Rosenbrook as he looks at the chaos in front of him. They're still moving, but right there, coming out of the exit, it can really get upset there. But these guys, you can tell they're taking it a little easy. It's early on in the race, 29 of 180. So they're doing a great job, but Riley is really putting the pressure on that 17 machine. He is looking really solid, though. You can see him on this cockpit view. I think some of these guys, Pete, they might start shifting down late run just to try to get all the momentum that they can and keep that speed up.
Absolutely. The more you can keep the RPM in these cars up, the faster you're going to be. Wow. The 48 and the 86 just about made contact there, but that 86 been all over the back end of that Team Conti. Number 17 for James Holzer. James going to go ahead and throw it on up, try to diamond out that corner. Ooh. They make a slight contact, but able to save them both.
Very, very close. We're seeing a lot of these guys starting to fishtail a little bit, but Andrew Wisdom is back out in the lead. Tom Flickcroft has fallen 3 spots. So 2 spots, I should say. Back to P3. Matt O'Brien still sitting in second, and we have Brody Falliker, P4. And we do have a caution. It looks like something might have happened with James Holzer. Let's take a look.
Oh, boy. We just saw those two kind of running really, really close. What happened?
Side by side, that 86, Riley and Holzer just got into each other. The 48 had nowhere to go, finishes him off, and 17 hard into the wall.
Oh, man. Yeah, hard shot for the 17. And like you said, that Detroit Tigers machine just nowhere to go. Holzer had to grab a gear, get it spun around, and come on down pit road.
Really unfortunate for him. We were just on him. He was having a great race, but just so extremely close. You can see it right there, and we're going to see them make contact. The 48, again, just nowhere to go.
All right, Eliza, just like we mentioned in pre-race, everybody coming on down pit road for brand new Eagle Fuel Goods. Going to go ahead and fill up with that virtual Sunoco E15 fuel. 51 leading the 43, 43 leading the 8 of Tom Flickcroft. The 1 of Brody Falliker and Jackson Glenn Austin is the top 5. Lap cars stayed out to pit their time round, but a long train of coming down pit road.
Yeah, sure is. We'll see who makes their way out first. You see Matt pull up Andrew Wisdom first in line right there, but looks like Micah's going to be the first one out. How about that? And then Andrew Wisdom will follow, and a mad dash to the line as they are making their way off of pit lane here. But lap 33, our first caution of the night, and what a race so far. Extremely close, very clean. You can tell these guys are really trying to take care of their machines. No fast repairs, so whatever damage you get, you do have to repair that. And Trevor, I want to say thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. KerBlam, I see you out there. That was tough for sure. Thank you so much. He is one of our sponsors, along with WoodyxCA. Check Woody out. He does streaming on Twitch, NASCAR Heat, although their servers are down right now. He also does Call of Duty, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Be sure to give him a follow. Tell him we sent you.
Yeah, Eliza, you mentioned that the 61 of Micah Allard came off pit road first with a pit time of 9.18. It's pretty safe to say he went in, grabbed whatever fuel he could, and probably changed just right side tires. So had to go ahead and grab the track position. There we go. Couldn't think of the term for a second there, but up 12 spots for Micah.
12 spots for him, and let's get him in the booth, see how he's doing out here tonight. He's looking strong as ever. Micah, we see that you had a little bit of a strategy as you make your way into the lead here. How's your car feeling? How's your handling, and what was the strategy going in the pits?
Strategy is to pit right here because I didn't take any tires. I'm saving a set, but
oh, okay.
I didn't want to mess up anything on the start here, so I just took no tires there, save a set later. I wanted to get my lap led, and we're gonna top it off here and go for broke at the back of the pack and hope for another caution.
We saw you have one of the fastest lap times as far as practice goes. Do you think we're going to be able to see you in the podium tonight?
I don't know. It's going to be a long shot. We'll see. I gotta navigate through all this traffic now, but
yeah,
we'll try like heck, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, Micah, I wish you luck, and have a great race.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was Micah as he makes his way back into the pits. So you see a strategy there. Not exactly what we were thinking, but he's going to have some traffic to contend with now, Pete.
Absolutely, and as I look at the pit times behind Micah, the very first one to beat everybody off pit road is going to be Andrew Wisdom, Matt O'Brien, and Brody Falliker. So Brody made up one spot coming off of pit road. Overall, up 7 spots, and I think aside from him, Andrew Zapp, way back in 18th, he's up 12 or 13 spots. Other than that, a couple a few more that are up 7. But right now, Jacob Zapp is the man on a mission with the amount of spots that he's made up, mostly under green.
Man on mission, and these guys are gearing up to go back to green once again. Here we go. Andrew Wisdom going to lead us off. Matt O'Brien, his teammate. You can see him out there in second, going to take the high side as we go back. He's got a nice start there for Andrew. Brody Falliker in third, Tom Flitcroft in fourth, and man, 2 wide all the way through. Once again, a lot of cars trying to go underneath. Jackson giving a push to Tom as they enter the corner. These guys are moving, Pete.
Absolutely, 43, Matt O'Brien. He's got clear sailing. He's got just the 51 ahead. 8 and 1 side by side as the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin tags the right rear just slightly. Here comes the 18, last week's winner, Hunter Johnson on the bottom. He's got Tom Harmon right up his trumpet. And then there's one more up on the high side, just working their way around this 1 mile track in Dover, Delaware.
How about this? Look at him, Hunter Johnson, right in between all these cars, and all these guys just going wherever they can stick those cars into to try to make a position. They're going to try to do it, but like I said, extremely tough to make up any positions here at Dover. The tires are not forgiving on this mile track, so these guys will have to be very strategic in how they get it done and very clean.
We've got a new leader, Eliza, and Matt O'Brien goes shake and bake purple posting a 23.67 lap time as he takes the lead from the 51. But now Brody Faliker and Andrew Wisdom, they're side by side. Hunter Johnson says, "Oh yeah, Matt, I can do better," as he goes 26 flat. New fastest time.
Ooh, very close between the 51 and the 1 of Brody Faliker. And as you said, Hunter Johnson, he is a man on the mission side by side with Jackson. But these guys going for everything they can. A driver into the wall. And that Jackson, man, I'll tell you what, I think he skidded off that wall a couple of times. It comes up quickly, Pete. We're going to see this happen time and time again. The 51 into the 1. He tries to save it. Great save, but that is going to cost him a ton of spots. All falls back all the way to P19.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for the 51. And Andrew Wisdom's going to have to fight back. Now he's got Joe Berg, I believe, to his outside in that Pepsi number 93. And just as I say that, the 84 of Jacob Locklear, he's going to try to take a peek. And then the 97 he's a lap. I think he might be a lap down. Joe Turley, good showing Jeff No and Brian Pizzi-Kemi ahead. But, man, there's a lot of racing going on.
There most certainly is, and I'm kind of wondering how much damage Andrew Wisdom has. It looked like a pretty even hit for him, but man, oh man, you know his tires are unhappy right now, so he's going to have to try to take it easy, cool those tires back off to try to get the handling back in tow for him. But right now, Matt O'Brien in the lead. Hunter Johnson has made his way up to P2 with Jackson Glenn Austin and Brody Faliker fighting for that third spot. John Honeycutt, who led the most laps last season at 66, he's making his way up here, currently P4.
Absolutely. John Honeycutt loves Dover. Here he is right now, as you said, P4 up 8 spots. Jackson Glenn Austin right ahead. You know that he's a very fast car every single week, so no surprise to see him. No surprise to see the 1 or the 8. No surprise to see the top 2 either. Eliza, this is really becoming more and more week by week where anybody can win a race. 21 almost going around, able to save it. John Honeycutt dives to the top. 8 and 21 now making contact. 68 is going to be able to get by also.
I don't know if Jackson Glenn Austin is going to appreciate that one, but he manages to save it, and what a save for him. Falls back to P8. Honeycutt still up in 4th. Just nothing for him, nowhere for him to go. Contact between him and Honeycutt got his car upset, and just a great save. You guys in chat, let me know who you think is going to be the winner here tonight. I see you out there. They have my chat cut off, though, so I'm having a hard time trying to read some of it. But, yeah, crazy race. I see you out there, Mindless, No, and Real, what's up? I saw you out there. Hunter Johnson to the lead, though, Pete.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, seems like there was going to be no denying that guy. Not only did he take the lead, but he took it, and he's starting to run away. Hunter Johnson on those 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, able to stretch this out. But Eliza, when you get the lead here at Dover and some of these other very, very abrasive tracks, you want to make sure that you get into that race management mode where you don't worry about the gap. You got the spot. That's all that matters. You got the point. You're going to lead a lap or 2 or however many you can, but you don't have to run away from the field. You don't have to push a blistering pace because you don't want to blister that right front.
Absolutely. You do not want to do that, but take a look. Brody Faliker quickly approaching the back bumper of Hunter Johnson. I mean, this is a man on a mission doing a fantastic job out here. And we see him so consistent this season. He is so improved each season that I've seen him out here. A ton of fun to watch. And we might see him take the lead in a second here. But Hunter Johnson! Wow! What in the world? Absolutely crazy save. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was both the 18 and the 1. The 18 goes a little bit more sideways. The 1 does a great job avoiding him, but the 18, great job by locking it down. And everybody that was around him, great track awareness, not to absolutely plug the 18, but great job by the 1 for going around. Both of them able to save it, and we're moving forward.
Again, those tires have got to be screaming at Hunter Johnson. He's got to cool them off, get that steadiness back on the track, but he is still moving somehow, some way after that. But back up here up front, see Brody Falliker in that one machine still leading. John Honeycutt is going to be in second, trying to make his way up to the front.
Yeah, he's got that IT Defenses LLC Camaro, one of last year's, season 1 sponsor, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not going to be for much longer. Looking at the last 5 laps, Honeycutt has been faster than both P1 and P3 3 of the last 5 laps, and he's coming.
You know, he's on my team for FTR. That is a car I drove last season. I was talking to him tonight, and he's saying, you know what? I haven't had a lot of practice. I'm not feeling too confident. And I said, you know what? You led 66 laps here last season. You got this. You'll do good. Now the question is, can he keep it consistent, hold on to those tires? If he can do that, we may see Honeycutt in the winner's circle tonight.
It would be great after the kind of season that John Honeycutt has had. Basically, if he keeps tabs on the one, knowing that, you know, coming off the corner or a lap or two ago, he was wicked loose. So he knows that that his tires may not be the best right now. He might see him every now and then just kind of tag the wall with the right rear. All he's got to do is keep tabs. Don't let him run away. Race your own race, and you'll be there at the end.
Let's take a look throughout the field here, and this is going to be Riley, Kyle, and Justin. Side just so incredibly close, nose to tail. We see Justin going to right up a little higher. Riley almost loses it right there. I don't know if he had a tap from behind, but man, Pete, what a save by Riley right there.
Yeah, the 13 definitely gave him just a little bit of a love tap on the backside, getting into the corner. And, you know, gentleman rule, you didn't have to do that, but look at that. He backed up and gave Riley the spot back, says, hey, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's been a couple of drivers where we've seen them make some contact, and they have slowed up to say, you know what, apologies, let's get back to racing. But so far, an extremely clean race, 57 of 180. Still a ton of time left to race. These guys are still taking it pretty easy, I gotta say, Pete.
Absolutely. The 51 of Andrew Wisdom, while you're back there, he's underneath the 11 of Jimmy Cocker right now. The last time we saw Andrew Wisdom, he was sitting about P19 just before the yellow flew. Hasn't really made up a whole lot of track as of yet, but this guy, he's usually that long run racer. I have no doubt before the night is over, we'll see that 51 Busch machine closer to the front.
Yeah, it's just so hard to make up those positions. Easy to lose, but hard to make up. Passing here is just treacherous, and we've seen it time again. These guys just not really meaning to get at each other, and we have a little bit of issue behind him. We have Jacob, who got on a wall, and Hunter slowed up a little bit from that. He's taken the outside, trying to see if he can make a move on the outside. Meanwhile, Jimmy Cocker, he's going to be behind, nowhere to go, just hoping for something to happen with these two where he can make it his way through.
Now the 18 was able to make that pass on the high side. That Visa machine pulls on up. That's going to be the 56. Again, Jacob Zaff. Jimmy Cocker looks like he's going to be able to make that pass down low. And here comes the number 7 Mizuno machine for the one and only Luke Allen.
Luke Allen sitting P20 right now. He's got Jacob Locklear back just a little bit. We have Joe Berg sitting 22nd behind him. Jarrett Cardwell, we saw him, his first race with us last week. He got P4, so a great first race for him. Brian Pizzakimi out in 24th with Jacob Palmer sitting 25th, and he is El Solo back here. Just needs to worry about his own race.
Yeah, Micah Allard way to back right now, down 13 spots, sitting 26th. So, man, very, very, very bad fast. He had to go back down pit road and has had to try to work his way back up. It's just this track is not very forgiving when you're that far back. Joe Turley behind him in that number 97, and James Holzer also in that 17, sitting P28 after the damage to his Camaro. And Jeff No also, I believe he might be off track. Yeah, that's so it looks like James Holzer right now is possibly the last car running.
John Honeycutt To the lead right here, makes his way past Micah, who we just saw just a second ago, but John Honeycutt looking pretty strong right here. Don't want to jinx him, you know how that can go sometimes, but he's got Brody Falliker directly behind him. Matt O'Brien is going to make his way underneath Micah, so off these guys go. Thomas Harmon in fourth, and we're going to have Tom Flitcroft. He's going to round out the top 5.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm glad that you said not to jinx him, because Eliza, you know just as well as I do, you do this commentating, broadcasting thing long enough. You're gonna be talking about somebody. You're gonna have the camera focused in on somebody, and something's gonna happen. I would never ever jinx any of these guys, and I'm glad that the 50's having a great race.
If something can happen, it usually does, but let's take a look at these guys as they're making their way through the backstretch. You can see lined up somewhere too wide, some of them, but that is a long train we have.
Absolutely. How about it back in P11, a guy that is up 8 spots? Talking about the number 47 Old Spice machine for Justin Anasagok. His very, very first race here in the Shake and Bake Series. Does very, very well in a few other leagues. So I was glad to see him join, and so far knocking on that first top 10.
Brody Falliker falls back a spot to Matthew O'Brien. He makes the pass, and will he make a stick? He does indeed, and they are quickly approaching the back bumper of John Honeycutt. He's going to have to get a defensive line, try not to kill those tires. We'll see if he lets O'Brien on by, but I have a feeling John Honeycutt, he wants to lead these laps. He's getting an extra point for leading a lap. He's trying to go for most laps led next.
I'll tell you what, if he wants to try to get defensive, he's got the right car, right sponsor for it. Again, talking about IT Defenses, a big, big sponsor in the past, and right now adorning Honeycutt's car as the 43 takes it inside.
Here he goes, Matthew O'Brien to the inside. This is going to be for the lead. He is able to get a huge run and momentum coming off the exit. He is our new leader. Honeycutt goes to second. Brody Falliker still sitting P3. But Matt O'Brien, if he can keep it consistent and just keep these guys behind, he is just so great on the long run at most tracks. He could very well be another one to get it done.
Absolutely. I talked about him early in the stream, talking about the points a little bit. The guy up front right now is our current points leader by 11 over Tom Harmon. Again, everybody that is inside the top 14 in points, all less than 100 points behind this guy, now leading from Dover.
Look at the space in between these drivers starting to spread out just a tiny bit. Thomas Harmon, he is up in P4, and then we have a bit of a gap. You can see it's going to be Tom Flitcroft and P5 with Jose Ruiz. He is going to be P6. Matt and that 12 machine is going to be 7th. Jackson Glenn Austin with a terrific save earlier on finds his way back to P8. PJ O'Leary in 9th, and Hunter Johnson, who another great save. He's out here in the top 10 once again.
Yeah, very, very great job for Hunter Johnson. Again, last week's winner from Talladega. And what's funny is he told me that he was in an unlucky scheme last week, but yet he put it in victory lane. Behind him is going to be Connor Cunningham in that Dale Earnhardt number 3. He's up 5 spots, sitting P11. Andrew Wisdom able to cool off that bush light number 51, and he's underneath Connor right now. Andrew's trying to get back into the top 10. He wants to make up even more. He's got the car. He's definitely a great driver, last season's champ. He knows how to get it done every week.
He sure does. Justin going to be 13th with Jordan McGraw right behind him. Man, what a line of cars. I mean, this could change at any moment. We've seen it time and again. But Jimmy Cocker out here in 15th. Kyle Taub in 16th. Luke Allen, 17th. Riley Rosenbrook, he is in 18th. Brian Pizzakemi, 19th. Joe Berg sitting P20. But man, I want to take another look at this battle around 13th. We have Jordan McGraw. He's going to be on the inside of Connor Cunningham. Unable to make the pass. He's going to try it again as he goes underneath. But what a battle. Still side by side. It is so hard to pass here, Pete, and you can see Jordan get a little loose. He's able to hold on to it, but he's going to lose a spot.
Yeah, Jordan McGraw is going to lose a spot or two. Looks like the 11 of Jimmy Cocker able to get on by. Now he's got the 13 to his outside. Talking about Kyle Taub right ahead of the 7 Mizuno Camaro for Luke Allen. But, man, these guys, they are swapping spots back and forth. 13 and 3. 3 is going to make some contact to the outside wall. Jordan McGraw now tucked up behind the 3 as well. They're going to take it 3 wide.
3 wide, and we're going to have these drivers so incredibly close, position after position. I didn't think that there was going to be this many position changes throughout. I mean, it's just so incredibly difficult, but these guys are really giving each other some room, a lot of respect, and when there is a mess up, they definitely make it known and let the guy back on track, give him some grace, and man, what a wild race. David, thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there. It's going to be a fun race Wednesday, too.
Absolutely. Tom Harmon up to P3, up 1 spot from where he qualified. Again, John Honeycutt up 10. And these guys are moving and moving. Brian Pizzakemi now up 15 as he continues to pick them off. We got caution 2 on track.
See if we can find out what it is, Pete. I'm having a hard time seeing what happened here, but
looks like something to do with Jordan McGraw.
Yeah, I see PJ O'Leary. Let's go back, see if we can go on board with him. Let's rewind that real quick. Looks like contact between him and Jimmy Cocker, just nowhere to go on that. That's going to bring out our second caution of the night, I want to say.
Yep. Yeah, that was pretty tough. The 11 was to the inside of the 24. And Eliza, I mentioned it last week as we were closing out from Talladega, how Dover is a self-cleaning track. Usually any wrecks that happen here, the car goes to the bottom. So if that happens, you want to go up and stay up high and let that car just slide on by. Everybody on the lead lap down pit road.
Yeah, we see PJ. He is back out on track. See if he can't do something out here, but really surprised that he's going to hang out there, but here he is. See what these guys can do. The 17, you see Holzer out there. Quite a few cars, and we're going to see even more as they enter back on the track.
It's
all
very,
right.
very...
Go ahead. Seeing what we've seen so far, Holzer, he hasn't been at the front as much as I thought he would be. It is very difficult to make your way through traffic. We've talked about it a lot tonight. Do you think with him being up here, I think he's going to pit, but we'll see what happens. Do you think we'll be able to see him finish in the top 5 tonight, Pete?
Honestly, Eliza, I think it's going to rely on at least 2 or 3 more cautions. Holzer right now is actually showing 1 or more laps down. That's why he's pitting with the 97, the 17, and others. The 24 is actually the leader right there as PJ O'Leary comes on down pit road. So everybody that went down first is gonna go ahead and get on by everybody that's now on pit road. When you start a race with 35 bad, fast, shake and bake iRacing Cup Series cars, the competition is just stacked every single week. But because Holzer got into that trouble earlier in the race trying to come through the field, he's had to spend some time on pit road, went a lap down. Very, very unorthodox for Mr. Holzer. Have to see how the rest of the race plays out for him.
This view brought to you by WoodyxCA. Be sure to give him a follow on Twitch. He is the series sponsor, Shake and Bake. He does NASCAR Heat and Call of Duty. So let me put the link out here for you guys, and you can just click on it. Go out there, give him a follow. Come back in, let him know that we sent you. Louis, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well out there. But man, extremely close race tonight. A ton of fun. These guys have shown time and again of how much talent they have. The incredible saves, incredible racing, passing for position. O'Brien will lead us back to green after our second caution. Lap 81 of 180. It's going to be a crazy night for the win here.
Absolutely. 43, and Matt O'Brien with Tom Harmon to his outside is going to go ahead and kick this back off. John Honeycutt, Brody Falliker is going to be row 2. Tom Flitcroft and Jose Ruiz is going to make up row 3. Matt Burgess, Jackson Glenn Austin, row 4. Jimmy Cocker and Justin Aniscock. He's going to go ahead and work himself into the top 10 for row number 5. Lights atop that pace car are out. Going to make that hard left towards pit road very soon, and the field will be set afire one more time.
Field will get ready to go back to green once again, but we'll see these guys as they're making their way through the backstretch. Matt O'Brien, we've seen him in the lead before. We'll see him once again. Harmon is going to be on that outside, as we said. Honeycutt has been up there. These guys been battling for the lead. We have Jose up there once again. So I think these guys are going to get a little bit more aggressive on this next run.
I'm really curious as to why the 43 chose the inside line versus the outside. And just as I say that, 68 on the restart spins them, and the 43 is going to be able to get away.
Wow, how about that? Man, that outside line not happy, and they are going 3 wide already, and it has since thinned out. Tom Flitcroft on the outside of Jackson Glenn Austin. Brody Falliker is going to have to fall in behind. Jose Ruiz, Jimmy Cocker, these two side by side, along with Justin and Matt. These guys were side by side. Now it's with Jordan McGraw.
We're working lap 84, less than 100 laps to go. Jordan McGraw, now he's underneath the 12. Talking about the guy that started this race on the outside pole. Matt Burgess now back to P11 with Kyle Taub.
These guys extremely close. Matt side by side still. That's going to be the 12 and the 13. We'll see who is able to get that momentum going. A little bit of contact with Matt. He is able to save it again. These guys, oh, he gets another tap by the 7. Oh. There's no way he's saving that. That is most definitely going to bring out another caution.
Oh, he had that Mountain Dew, that A&W machine saved, and just still got a little bit of a push from the backside. I want to say that was Luke Allen in that number 7 Mizuno machine. Just wasn't able to get his car woed up, and around went the 12.
Really unfortunate to see you. I mean, he tried everything that he could to try to save that. I give him A for effort, but man, he was a ping pong ball trying to make his way on through and try to get that saved.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate. Very strong car when talking about that 12. He was just kind of hanging around to the mid to front pack and just got tagged in the backside, had it saved until oncoming traffic.
John Honeycutt is going to be in the lead as we are under yellow. I'm kind of curious what his thoughts are. Let's see if we can bring him up here. Yeah, go ahead and pull him if you want.
All right, let's get on down to Team FTR, see if we can't pull him from his radio right quick and see what is on Driver 50's mind right now.
All right, Jonas, Eliza, how you doing out there?
Hey, what's up, Eliza? Really scared right now.
I was saying earlier, you didn't seem like you had a ton of confidence in your car tonight. A little nervous about how Dover was going to go, but how are you feeling right now? I mean, your car's looking really solid.
I mean, as long as I keep up with the tires on the long run, I think I'll be all right. Yeah, the car was, all practice, all week long, it's just been horrible. I didn't know what to do coming in tonight. I was just, just baffled on all the runs that I've done. I just wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't even fast at all. So right now I'm just doing everything I can to maintain the tires, and hopefully from here I could kind of just keep pace and see if I could beat Matt O'Brien and Harmon. Those guys are the best at saving tires.
They are the best, one of the best at saving tires. So What's your strategy going to be moving forward to keep them behind you?
First is just staying aggressive. Just stay up front. On these restarts, you have to be really aggressive to establish position. And then from there, I was just telling Jose, who's not too far behind, he's good on saving tires. Just telling him to also just stay aggressive, get in position as best you can in the first 2 laps, and then start saving tires as best you can. So that's what we're trying to do.
All right, good strategy moving forward. I wish you a ton of luck.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good luck, John.
Thanks, man.
You got it.
All right, that was John Honeycutt. He will be leading us back to green, and man, we saw a little bit of chaos under green last time with Thomas Harmon kind of getting those tires wound up. So I'm kind of curious, will we see the same, or are we gonna have a clean start and get these drivers moving?
Oh, Eliza, I mean, it seems like anytime you get a pack of cars and they got 4 brand new tires and they're full of fuel, they feel like Superman. They know that they got to get what they can before the pack gets spread out. But if you just show a little bit of patience in most circumstances, definitely not in all, let those guys go. Let them burn them up. You'll reel them back in the long run as your tires stay great, which is exactly what Honeycutt was just talking about when he's talking about a conversation between himself and teammate Jose Ruiz, which just 3 cars back on the bottom side.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a fine line because, you want to let the guys go so they can burn their stuff up, and you don't. However, you don't want to let too many guys go. It is so hard to make those passes here. So, I'm kind of thinking I got to drive a little defensive here. I got to make sure that whatever line he's trying to take, I want to be there right in front of him so that he can't take that position from me. So it's just a fine line between saving those tires and defending your position.
So, I mean, there's another finer line that everybody's got to walk, and that is controlling these cars. The old saying from NASCAR, loose is fast and on the edge of out of control. Well, a lot of these cars are very much on the edge of out of control lap after lap. So they've done a great job. They were all saying that this track was going to be very, very sketchy. And for the most part, Eliza, working, caution number 3, we're working lap 89. These guys have had a great job at the long run, but we're going back green. Let's go.
Here we go, back to green, and these guys off to a rocky start as the high side. They look like they were trying to stack up, but here we go. We are on to green once again. John Honeycutt in the lead, and 2 by 2 all the way through as we head to the backstretch, Pete.
Yeah, Tom Flickerhoff able to clear the inside. Right now you got Brody Falker sitting P3. He's back up in a very familiar spot for him and Team FIWB. Tom Harmon in restart before this, he was the only one of the top 4 that had not yet led a lap. He was sitting up on the high side. Unfortunately, the restart didn't work for him, but he hasn't fallen back too far, Eliza.
Jackson Glenn Austin, he is leading this next pack, and it's going to be Andrew Wisdom right behind him, Jose, Justin, Hunter Johnson side by side right there, and then right behind him is going to be Jimmy Cocker and Luke Allen. Luke, we saw him involved in that last incident. He is still up there, looks really solid tonight. Super excited for him, and I can't wait to see how he finishes out.
Yeah, Luke Allen on that bottom side. Again, talking about the number 7 Mizuno machine. He's got Jimmy Cocker in that Hokies Virginia Tech. A little loose there, a little bit of contact door to door coming off the corner.
Yeah, we're going to see this so many times as it can be very, very hostile in that car as they make their way through these corners. Heading in, you're a little loose. Coming out, you can be extremely tight or loose depending on how you take it. So and you got to make sure that you know what the driver in front of you, how they're handling. And if you see him getting loose, you might need to back off a little bit or try to get that run. And we have Jordan McGraw hard into the wall. You know he's got some damage on that right front.
Yeah, talking about dancing, a lot of these guys really dancing with that throttle pedal, being as careful as possible with it. 34, very, very loose off the corner. Here comes the 78 of Brian Pizzikemi and the 84 right behind.
Got Brian Pizzikemi right behind. Let's take a look. Jordan gonna stay up high, and he's got teammate Jacob Locklear right behind him. Meanwhile, he's got Pizik Kimmy to his inside, making a move for the position here. Jarrett Cardwell in P18. So Jordan definitely under fire.
Yeah, Jordan's got to kind of calm down a little bit, let the car come back to him. He's great at saving tire, great at saving fuel. He's good on the long run. He just has to work all that into play, and I think he'll be a contender when it's all said and done.
John Honeycutt still out in the lead here with Brody Falliker not too far behind. We see Tom Flitcroft. He's going to be in that third position. Meanwhile, we do have a gap. We have a 3-car breakaway. That is going to be Thomas Harmon. Kind of by himself, but not too much further. Is going to be Andrew Wisdom, P5, with his teammate Matt O'Brien right behind. Hunter Johnson back up into the top 10, sitting P7. Jackson Glenn Austin in 8th. Justin in 9th, and Jose, he's going to ride out the top 10.
Yeah, how about Andrew Wisdom? Last time we talked about him, we were saying he was in the back. He was sitting P18, P19, how hard it was for him to work his way through the field. Back inside the top 5 between Tom Harmon and Hunter Johnson. Hunter Johnson able to put a little bit of space between himself and Matt O'Brien. So a lot of cars that we saw go to the back earlier, proving that if you take care of your stuff, you can and you know how to wheel these things around Dover, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, somehow a lot of these guys, they really know how to be aggressive but save those tires. It is a definite hard place to be able to get your car in and know when and how to use it to your advantage, and Hunter Johnson is definitely one of them, and somehow has made his way back up here. But John Honeycutt still in the lead. I'm kind of curious where these guys are at on their stint length as far as tires go. 20 is going to be their run here for, I would say, like the top 10 at least drivers, and then 47 before that. So these guys still have quite a bit to go on this run.
Absolutely. Everybody was last in on lap 79, at least everybody within at least the top 20, the top 15. So it's going to be a little bit, as you can see there on the graphic. How about this one, though? Brody Falliker all over the back end of John Honeycutt in this IT Defense's number 50 Camaro for Team Frozen Toes. And way, way close. The one absolutely trying to push it. See just how much he can rattle John Honeycutt.
We're going to take it to the KerBlamKing and go in here. Man, Brody Falliker, you can see just really pushing that car. And I'm kind of curious if those tires are going to be paying for it. You can see him ride that line, really pushing the boundaries between him and John. John is trying to hold him off, but it is so incredibly close. This is going to be the battle for the lead. And since we are on the KerBlamKing Racing cam, let's talk about his channel. He's out there on YouTube doing a modded series, does a fantastic job. He's out there racing and talks about his races as he does it. You're going to see me out there, David Schildhouse, and a few others that you may recognize. Check it out. It's a lot of fun, and be sure to subscribe to him.
Eliza been watching this one. He's been throwing it in really, really low. Maybe using just a little bit of brake to set the front, but a couple times he overran the corner and lost time. John Honeycutt is absolutely cutting him no brakes. If he's going to be able to get on by, he's going to make the one use the bottom side. Well, we both know on the bottom, when you're pinched underneath somebody, you can't get back in the throttle when you want to. Right now, the 50 using that line to his as they get close one more time. One really looking for it.
Yeah, that is so incredibly close, and on that high side, it can come in over the long run, but man, oh man, these two, if they continue this battle, not only are they going to wear out those tires, but you're going to see Tom Flitcroft, who is saying, you know what, keep going back and forth. Me and Hunter are going to catch up to you guys, and we'll be battling for the lead shortly. Brody Falliker to the lead.
There it is. And it wasn't going to be long. Once the 50 lost the benefit of that second groove, the one went around the outside, and there was nothing that John Honeycutt could do. But as long as they were racing side by side, it was allowing the 8 and the 18 that were they were running nose to tail. They were definitely catching them in big strides also.
Hunter Johnson makes a pass over Tom Flitcroft. That is going to be for P3. Meanwhile, Hunter Johnson, his teammate, Thomas Harmon, he's sitting there in P5, separated by Tom Flitcroft. So these two might be getting next to each other in position. We'll see what happens. Andrew Wisdom sitting P6. These guys are starting to spread out just a little bit, Pete.
Yeah, a little bit, and it's interesting the way that they are getting away, because are they pushing it, Eliza? I mean, we talked about the last time these guys were on pit road is lap 79, working lap 109. They're on 30 lap old tires right now. Are they pushing too much? How much are the guys behind going to start reeling them in? It's not going to be long to see what happens if these guys have to make that green flag pit stop. We haven't had that yet. Are they going to be too loose to get on the binders to get on down pit road? Are they going to go too fast, getting that black flag, which could completely take them out of the race? So much could happen with the way some of these guys might be pushing it.
On board with Matt O'Brien, and he's leading this next group, sitting P7th. He's got Justin directly behind him, Jackson Glenn Austin in 9th, and Jimmy Cocker in 10th. So I am kind of curious, same as you, Pete. Are these guys out front? Are they wearing down those tires? If these guys can maintain their positions, kind of help each other out and get up there, we may see Matt O'Brien up to P6 and start picking these guys off.
Yeah, Matt O'Brien again right behind his teammate Andrew Wisdom. Those two have been very, very strong. Those two sitting first and third in the points. And 43, he's been very, very consistent all season, which is why he is the points leader. He's got the 47 of Justin Anisgok mentioned before. This is his first race here in Shake and Bake in that Old Spice 47, learning from the points leader. I talked to him earlier. He said, Pete, I'm not very good at Dover. I don't typically finish very well here. And it's interesting, Eliza, as I look at these drivers and I look at things like their I rating and whatnot, there's a whole lot of high 3s, 4s, 5s, even a 7 with James Holzer. The strength of this field is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, the strength of this field. These guys, very, very talented and a ton of fun to watch. But you've mentioned points a couple of times, and we have yet to be able to pull them up on stream. It's just been so action-packed. But take a look at these point standings. O'Brien, Pete talked about it earlier. He is in the lead with 232. We have Harmon in second with 221. Wisdom in third with 195. And Holzer, he's right behind P4. Brody Falliker, who's been extremely strong tonight, currently sitting in the lead. He's P5 in the points.
Absolutely. Again, everybody inside of the top 14 in points are within 100 of Matt O'Brien. And there's no reset. We talked about this once or twice already this season, Eliza. There's no reset. There's no stages here. There's no top 16, top 12, top 8, 4, and then there's only 4 drivers going for the championship. The guy that wins the championship here is going to be because he is just like the 43, or maybe even a little bit better than Matt O'Brien. But Matt, he has been very, very consistent so far this season.
Yeah, I feel like he's very consistent every season. I mean, he is a wild one. Love to see it, his drive. He does a great job. But how about this? Jacob Zaff, 18 spots up from where he started, sitting P13. Great run for him. We've seen him out here a couple of times. Great to see him tonight. He's got PJ directly behind him, and Brian Pizzikimmy, who is up 17 spots from where he started, sitting P15.
Yeah, Jarrett Cardwell, his brother Jacob, talked to him earlier. But yeah, Jarrett Cardwell right now up 11, sitting P16. His second race after finishing 4th last week in his first race ever with Shake and Bake at Talladega. Jacob Locklear in the 84, he's up 9, sitting 17th. Micah Allard, after the issues earlier in that 61, he's down 5. Connor Cunningham down 3 in the 3, running 19th. And Kyle Taub, P20, down 6.
Jordan McGraw, we saw him hard into the wall earlier on. I know he's got to have some issues with car handling. He is down 13 spots from where he started, sitting P21st. Joe Berg in 22nd. Matt, we saw earlier on, he was up towards the front, but man, chaos for him, not the race he wanted, as he had an extremely strong car, Pete. I was looking forward to see where he could finish. Race, we still got over 60 laps to go, so still some time, but it is a uphill battle for him.
Absolutely. You just saw the 17 of James Holzer go by. Holzer down 5 laps after his issues earlier. Got to try to make up some of those spots. But you know what, Eliza, I got to give James Holzer a lot of credit. When the season first started, he said, hey, just going to be part-time, got other things going on. He's down 5 laps. He knows that, Dover, it could be a little bit of an issue at times, but definitely shown a lot of green flag laps. He could say, you know what, I'm done for the night. I'm not in it for the championship this year, or maybe I'm not, who knows. But he's choosing to stick it out. So again, Holzer down 5, and trying to make up as many spots as he can. Do I think he's going to get back on the lead lap with the pace we're running? No, but glad he's still there.
Absolutely. You mentioned him being part-time, and I talked to him and I was like, Holzer, I thought you were going to be part-time. He's like, yeah, I'm too competitive. I wanted to be out here. It's fun. So here he is. It's great to have him for sure. Brody Falliker, he is increasing that gap over John Honeycutt. So extremely strong car tonight. You can see him catching up to Jacob Palmer in that 39 machine. That is not for a position, obviously. Falliker, our current leader, as we are on lap 123 of 180.
Yeah, Brody Falliker absolutely extending that lead to just about a clear second over the 50 of John Honeycutt. Another bit of time back to Hunter Johnson, P3. Andrew Wisdom, P4. Tom Harmon right now, P5. Matt O'Brien sitting P6. But this one looks very, very strong. Don't see a whole lot of wiggling out of him when he's coming up off the corner. Looks pretty solid getting into the corner. Way down in the line. Lets it drift up just a little bit. Gets it back down on that side of the apron, and able to accelerate up and off as he comes across the start stripe. One more to start lap 125.
Let's take a look on board with Brody, and you can see just how gentle he is with the throttle. Such control for him. Lets off, lets it get that grip going through, and he is more than halfway through before he is really starting to throttle it up, and you can see him kind of catching that wheel, making sure he's got all the handling he can get from that thing, and he's doing a magnificent job tonight. Really great to see him out here, and I hope to get him out here in victory lane. It would be great to see, but we've had a lot of drivers get 2 wins so far. Let's talk about that. We've had Tom Flitcroft. He is the only driver that only has 1 win. He won at Daytona. James Holzer has 2 wins. Hunter Johnson, he also has 2 wins. And Andrew Wisdom, he has 2 wins. So I'm curious, will we see a new driver in victory lane?
I'll tell you what, if this one continues on the way he is, as caution number 4 is going to go ahead and fly. I'm sure he did not want to see that yellow fly, but Jacob Locklear somewhere in the back looks like he's had a little bit of an issue.
Take a look at what happened here. Very congested area, not a lot of room for him to go. He had a lot of traffic behind him. James Holzer right behind, and I couldn't tell who was directly in front of him, but yeah, not a lot of places for him to go.
Ugh. I'm not quite sure if Locklear tried to check up, just wasn't enough, but yeah, 84 in the 17, make some contact. 84 is going to go ahead and try to grab a gear, get on going. Not too much damage on that 84 though.
Good to see, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time. We'll see. That's going to be Jacob Zaff in front of him. Man, I'm not sure if he did a lot of checking up there. We'll see.
That replay definitely shows something different, doesn't it?
It shows a little bit of difference. You know how different views can make it look different, so.
Absolutely. Well, that team FIWB #1 Camaro bringing everybody down pit road. I tell you, that one was looking really, really strong. And when you were talking about him before, kind of brought me back a little bit to last season where he was runner-up. He was the bridesmaid several times. In his case, I'll call him the groomsman several times. But I told him there's only so many times that you're going to finish second before you grab that W. And shortly thereafter, he did. I think he can get it done again tonight. In fact, you know what, Eliza? I didn't get a chance to, I didn't think about who I was going to take in this race when we first started. I think I'm going to take that one tonight.
All right, I like where you're going with this, but did you see that battle coming off of pit road? That was absolutely insane. 4 wide, trying to figure out who was going to be that first driver out. Insane. We're going to have John Honeycutt. He's going to lead the field with Brody Falliker in second, Hunter Johnson in third, Andrew Wisdom in fourth, Thomas Harmon going to round out that top 5. But man, oh man, 4 wide coming out of pits.
Yeah, good thing iRacing takes the role of NASCAR there and says, okay, you're here, and you're here, rather than them all having to try to figure it out for themselves. So Matt O'Brien's going to slot in P6, Tom Flitcroft 7th, Jackson Glenn Austin continuing to put on another great race here from Dover, sitting P8. Justin Aniscock is going to be 9th, up 10 spots, and up 5 is going to be that 11 Virginia Tech machine for Jimmy Cocker.
Bringing out that KerBlamKing once again. You can see everyone out here as we are under caution. Be sure to give KerBlamKing Racing a follow on YouTube. I'll put the link out there. You can be sure to click on that link. Go subscribe to him. He does a terrific job. We talked about him a couple of times tonight as he does his modded series for NASCAR Heat. Does some commentary as he makes his way through racing in his own series with AI and a couple of people that are in his series as he made their paint schemes, you name it. He is definitely busy out there. It's a lot of fun to watch. Go view it and give him a sub.
I tell you, Eliza, is it coincidence that the number 50 car is out front with 50 laps remaining here from Dover? He led 64 or 60 plus laps last year. Are we looking at a car that could possibly pull away? We saw him do it before. Did he learn something from the short stint on those tires? And is he ready for 50 laps, Green?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if his nerves are kind of helping him out. It's making him stay a little bit conservative, trying to save those tires. But now this is where aggression starts to pick up. He's got Hunter Johnson, a very aggressive driver. I mean, he's already on his tail, and we're under caution. So Hunter knows what he's doing. We saw him up front earlier on. He's going to have a lot of competitive drivers to his high side and behind him. Thomas Harmon, we have Andrew Wisdom, O'Brien, you name it. So he's going to definitely be under attack. He's going to have to try to ignore all the noise around him and just drive his line and keep those tires under control.
Absolutely. Lights top the pace car are out. They're going into turn 3 right now. Turns 3 and 4 go by very, very fast. They're going to come up the hill off of 4. Pace car making that hard left turn. Eliza, we're going back green.
Going back green, heading into lap 132 of 180. John Honeycutt going to lead us off, and we are back to green. You can see the start. Man, Brody Falliker with a great start leading off. Hunter Johnson looks like he's trying to make it 3 wide, but he's going to stay behind John Honeycutt, and Brody Falliker on the outside gives John Honeycutt a little bit of push, takes it down to the inside. He is going to take over the lead, and it's going to be very close.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very close for that lead. 18 down low, 50, John Honeycutt up high. P3, P4, 18 gets a little loose, a little bit of a wiggle. That's going to give the momentum back to the 50 in that high groove. Can he get back into the throttle just a little bit before the 18? Is Hunter Johnson just a little leery? No, he's not. He is all kinds of slideways back to P2.
Huge aggressive move by Hunter Johnson to bring it right in front of Brody Falliker just to get the nice angle heading into the corner. Hunter Johnson being super aggressive right now. He wants that lead. He wants another win. We'll see if he can't make it happen tonight.
Andrew Wisdom also with a big aggressive move, cutting it down in front of the 68 of Tom Harmon as they're all single file back to about P12. 18 again taking a look to the inside of the 50 of John Honeycutt. Honeycutt now on that outside, able to keep that 18 pinch down. 18 knows he's got no runoff right now. Best he can do is try to throw it in, but if the 50 keeps him down, he cannot get back in the throttle to where he can open up the wheel and carry max speed off. 50 tags the wall with the right rear.
Tagging the wall, the 18 is going to try to take it underneath once again. Right in his quarter panel, we'll see these guys side by side now. Hunter getting very, very loose. We saw it once earlier and we see it here. He saves it, only loses half a spot here as he is now side by side with Brody Falliker. That's exactly what John Honeycutt wants to see here.
Absolutely, when you keep a car pinched down like that and they try to get back in the throttle, with a track as loose as Dover, with as tail happy as these cars are coming off of 2 and off of 4, there's nothing more that the 18 of Hunter Johnson could have done. Now he's got the 51 of Andrew Wisdom in his rear view to contend with.
Yeah, he sure does. Let's take a look at that. You can see right behind, he's got these guys hungry for position, but Brody Falliker trying to make his way to the lead once again, and he secures it as John Honeycutt moves down to second, but he says, you know what? It's not over yet. I'm going for it. I don't know if he's going to have the momentum. They're side by side. He needs to bring that up, but Brody is going to make it a little difficult for him.
Yeah, Brody Falliker absolutely diamonded out that corner, went way up high, grabbed as much momentum as he could coming off, and able to keep the lead to himself. Brody Falliker looking very, very strong, the same as he did before that last caution.
John Honeycutt moves back to third as Hunter Johnson capitalizes on that mistake, and he moves up to second as Brody is still leading, and now he will be under attack by Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, he's not going to be denied. He got Talladega last week in his rear view, got a little bit of momentum. He decided after he felt like this paint scheme was going to be bad luck. Obviously not, because here he is running P2. He's been up front. He's led a few laps. He's looking for more.
On board with Hunter right now. And how can Napa be bad luck? He won there last week. He's bringing it out tonight. So I think we're changing his mind on that. He even got super loose, went way to the back, and up here he is once again, lap 141 of 180. These guys look to be chilling out a little bit more as we are trying to get these tires at a good temperature, trying not to wear them down. He's going to be right on Falliker, and that's what he needs to do. Try to keep it on his back bumper, put the pressure on, but not enough to mess himself up.
Absolutely. If these two continue to run the pace that they're running, they're absolutely going to pull away. John Honeycutt, he just kind of has to manage his car, manage his right front. Let those two push as the 18 scrubs the wall just a little bit. He's got the 51 of Andrew Wisdom behind him. Last season's champ. Very, very up in the points this evening. The 1 and the 15 still nose to tail as the 18, again, fishtails it just a little bit off the corner.
Looking at Hunter Johnson, he takes the midline as Brody is going to take that low side. I haven't seen a lot of these guys move up on the high side throughout the longer run here. So it seems that most of these drivers really like that inside line, and that is definitely going to help those tires out. But Hunter Johnson trying to get all that momentum. It is, in my opinion, a little bit faster there, but on the long run, it will hurt you.
Absolutely. The only thing I can think of as to why these guys really aren't running too far up high is that because they'd have to put more turn, more left into the car, and as loose as these things out, they don't want to get a little too loosey-goosey and spinning around coming off a 2 or 4. But again, I don't know exactly what these guys are feeling. I haven't turned any practice laps here myself in quite a while, but the top two are doing a phenomenal job. Again, 18 getting loose. That time, the front end of his Camaro was pointed towards that inside wall.
Yeah, not a good feeling, but Hunter Johnson, I mean, he's an aggressive driver. He's going to push the limits. He wants to max out this car, see what it can do so that he can get to the front of the field and hopefully get away from the field. Unfortunately, we've seen him get loose here a couple of times tonight, but man, what a solid night. Sitting P2 after everything he's overcome, he's doing a great job.
Absolutely. Another guy that's doing a great job, talked earlier about him, a guy that fell back into the clutches of the 20s. The 51 of Andrew Wisdom looks like whatever gremlins that Busch machine had earlier has been all but figured out. He's led a couple laps. He's got the 68 of Tom Harmon behind. He's got the 50 of John Honeycutt right ahead, but they're not close. They're not extremely close. So none of them are really having to fight any kind of tight conditions, I would at least imagine. And then behind those guys, our leader, the 43, or the points leader, excuse me, the 43 of Matt O'Brien, and Jimmy Cocker right behind him.
Jimmy Cocker, P7. He's got Tom Flitcroft in 8th. Justin making a move. These guys side by side. Jackson going to be on the outside. Justin on the inside. And Justin going to be 10th. Jackson in 9th. But Brody Faliker, what an incredible run for him tonight. Still sitting in 1st. He's got Hunter Johnson just under half a second behind him. You know, we still have about 31 or 2 laps to go here, so we'll see if he can't hold it. But man, I'm really impressed by his driving tonight, and I want to see him get into victory lane. I want to see a new driver, and it's Brody's time, I think, Pete.
Oh yeah, I believe it really is Brody's time. I mean, just absolutely a great drive off of these corners, really not having any kind of an issue. Dropping down into the corners. Looks like James Holzer in that 17th decided he was going to go on down pit road again. So Holzer continues to have an interesting evening. Our season 1 champ is not finding Dover to his liking.
Yeah, he's having a rough night. Absolutely. Unfortunate to see for him, but man, these top 5 guys, incredible job for them. They are starting to spread out though, which is exactly what Brody wants to see. Johnson is now over half a second behind him. So whatever Brody's doing, he is doing it right. And he is about to be under attack by Honeycutt. So we'll see if Hunter Johnson can hold him off as Honeycutt is wanting to take over that 2nd position.
Yeah, you got to wonder if the 18, as many laps as he spent in the tire tracks of the 1 of Brody Faliker, if he didn't get some aero issues and have to put a little bit more wheel into that number 18 Napa machine to get it off of the corners. He kind of wheels out a little bit. That's going to allow the 50 to kind of take advantage. 50 Johnny Honeycutt, he's going to keep it down 1 lane lower, get a little bit of fresh air on the hood of that Team FTR Camaro, up and off the corners, side by side, down the backstretch.
Yeah, Hunter seems to really like that mid to high line, and I think that's really helping to kind of wear those tires down. I hate to say it. It is a faster line in the short run, but these guys, they really have to save those tires, and John Honeycutt, he is going to make that pass. You know Hunter's not going to stand for that, but for now, John is safely in 2nd. Brody's still out there in 1st, leading the field, and David, 4 different winners so far this season. Tom Flitcroft, James Holzer, Hunter Johnson, and Andrew Wisdom.
How about John Honeycutt? 4 of the last 5 laps has been the fastest car inside the top 3. So that Team FTR Camaro definitely has some speed to it. And the 1 lap that he was a little bit slower, it was only by 2/100ths. John Honeycutt's trying to come back to the front. He might have been able to save enough earlier when the 18 and the 1 were getting away. Here comes Honeycutt.
Kind of curious, will we see a green flag pit stop right here? Or will they be able to go all the way through? That's going to be around a 50 lap or so run. We have 25 to go. So, man, it is going to be close. These guys, their tires might be screaming if they do choose to stay out, but John Honeycutt, he has found some speed making his way up to Brody Faliker. He is going to try to put the pressure on, take over that lead once again.
Absolutely, there he is. Got a little bit of a lane higher than the 1 of Brody Faliker, so he's might try something on the outside. He knows the 1's really been diving down low, staying up high, get a little bit of clean air on that machine. Some cars decide to come on down pit road. 50 with a great launch off of 3 and 4, able to dive to the inside, going into 1.
Going into 1, he's going to take the low side. Brody takes the high side. Brody, he's going to be able to make the pass for John Honeycutt. No, he is going to stay there, and he's going to have the momentum. That's the lovely thing about that high side. You get such a great run out there, but man, does it wear down the tires. This is not a battle you want to continue as John Honeycutt moves almost into the one, but they are still side by side in this battle with 22 to go.
Absolutely, the one again going way up the banking, getting a great launch off the corner, way all over the tailgate of the 50 of John Honeycutt. But it looks like Honeycutt again, he's got that car in that second line. I don't think the one has it in the tire anymore to pull it around the outside. 50 of Johnny Honeycutt back to the lead.
I'm kind of curious, does he not have it, or is he just saying, you know what, I want to save a little bit of juice left for the end of the race. You go ahead and have it for now. We'll see, but we know he did have quite a nice lead. We'll see if he can save some tire.
Well, John Honeycutt with 21 coming to 20 to go next time by. This Camara's looking pretty strong. You know, you mentioned earlier, very, very strong last season. So he wasn't feeling too secure about the track from what he said when we pulled him on up to the booth. He's looking pretty confident now, Eliza.
I think he is, and if he did win tonight, he will make the 5th different winner this season. I know he will be super excited, and as FTR owner, you know I will be excited for him and for our team. They've done a great job. You can see him making his way past some traffic here. Brody will follow, and man, what a wild race. Under 20 to go. Falliker falling back to just under half a second. Harmon, he takes over P3 out here. Hunter Johnson falls to 4th. Andrew Wisdom, he's going to be 5th currently.
Yeah, Matt O'Brien in that Dollar Tree, number 43, the King's number right behind. Then, of course, Jimmy Cocker again in that Virginia Tech number 11, sitting P7. Tom Flitcroft, Tom Flitty, sitting 8th, down 5 spots from where he started this race a long while ago. Jackson Glenn Austin sitting 9, down 2. Cody Kalinka, though, he's actually going to go ahead and crack the top 12 in that where did he just go? There he is. He's going to go ahead and crack the top 10, now up 11 in that Hooters 79.
Yeah, still battling side by side with Jackson. Cody is having a great run, up 12 spots, as Pete says. So great run, 17 to go here tonight. Man, I've seen these two battle out a few times, and they are still going at it. Meanwhile, we have Justin right behind him. These three have been very, very close. Jose Ruiz, we see him going up to 11th as he makes his way by Justin.
Yeah, Justin and Jose have known each other a very, very long time. Now behind the 21 of Jackson Glenn Austin. That puts Jackson inside the top 10. He's had a little bit rougher of a night tonight than he's had or than we've seen in the previous weeks. Justin Anasigak, Micah Allard right now sitting P13, right where he started this race. And Eliza, as I look through the field, he is the only one in the spot where he qualified.
Interesting to see. Jacob Locklear, he's going to be right underneath, up 12 spots from where he started. Also up 12 spots is going to be Jarrett Cardwell. He is going to be sitting P15. And Brody Falliker, I saw his time moving, and Jacob Locklear gets into Micah very, very close. These guys are saving it. I don't know which way to go, up to the lead or stay down here, but man, oh man, we're about to go 3 wide. Joe Berg backs it off a little bit. Jacob backs it off a little bit, and they're a single file. But Brody Falliker, he fell off, lost a little bit of time. I'm not sure if he got loose, but he's over almost a second and a half behind Honeycutt, and Thomas Harmon is making his way up to him. Honeycutt still in the lead, 13 to go.
Yeah, 13 to go for driver 50. And Eliza, when you looked at the points earlier and you're kind of going through, I looked to see where Honeycutt was. Right now, John Honeycutt is sitting way back in 21st. After Talladega, he moved up 5 spots in those points. A win tonight after leading a lap and the bonus points for the win and all that, maybe even give him a little bit of a shot in the arm for the momentum. This could be huge for John Honeycutt's points overall, because after the top 14, it's like 1 point here, a couple points there, a couple points there. It's really no big gap between those guys. So this could be a phenomenal night for driver 50.
Yeah, if he can hold it steady, great points night for him, and he most definitely needs it. It's been kind of a rough start for him And I talked to him a couple of times after these races, and he's saying, you know what? I just need a good run. I need to get my confidence back up there. It's been a rough season start, so he's had a couple of great runs in the past few races. I'm happy to see it for him. He's a great driver, and tonight he's going to prove it to himself and hopefully hit victory lane. And I just want to see a new driver, and I'd be thrilled to see FTR in it.
There you go, with 10 laps remaining, 10 more circuits here at the Monster Mile. Miles, I think he's had his fill. I think he's done. I think we're going to see the checkers. I don't think we're going to see any more. We've got a lot of room between a lot of these cars on this track. We've had some people that, unfortunately had some issues this evening. But other than that, our top three, John Honeycutt, Brody Falker, and Tom Harmon. Even Tom Harmon up one spot. It seems like he's had to really fight for that spot all night long. Nothing has come easy to driver 68 whatsoever. He's keeping Avril Lavigne pretty happy.
He keeps her happy every single week. I'll tell you what, he is another very consistent driver, does an amazing job out here. He comes out here with absolutely no practice. I'll be like, how you feeling there, Harmon? And he's like, I don't know. I'll let you know when I get some time out on track in the practice session. I'm like, you are absolutely crazy, but somehow, he's just got so much experience and knows how these cars need to be driven. He does a great job out there and very consistent.
Absolutely. When I gave some details earlier about track times and how much the cars fell off, I went solely off this guy just because of how consistent he is, both on track during the race and practice. His first 12 laps were in the 22s. His second 13 laps were in the 23s. And his remaining of the 30 laps were in the 24s. So the guy, I had a feeling Tom Harmon knew that this was going to be a long run race. Even as much as a lot of the guys were saying, man, it's going to be really sketchy. I don't know exactly what's going to play out. The track temperature this evening right now shows 113 with an air temp of 83. The track has paid no favors to these guys, but yet they've put on one phenomenal race.
Absolutely. All right, Pete. We're coming to 4 to go. We have John Honeycutt in the lead. You can see that we did have Brody Falker losing a little bit of time. Now they're seeming to hold steady, and as soon as I say that, he loses a little bit more time. What are your thoughts as you're leading this race? Are you freaking out, or are you feeling confident?
You got to wonder if the one of Brody Falker really thought that we were going to have another caution. Cautions breed cautions. The aggression level was going to go up, and he was going to be good for a while on the short run. I think John Honeycutt mentioned it earlier. He laid back a little bit in the weeds, and when it was time to go, he got on that loud pedal and he pulled away. Now with a good solid 1.7 second lead over the 1, and then a 1 over the 2 by another 0.8. I think we're looking at our podium.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Unless something crazy happens, if it can happen, it usually does. But I'm crossing my fingers for Mr. John Honeycutt out here. Brody Falker with a great run. But I'm reading chat, KerBlam. It's been amazing working with you for a sponsorship, and it's been a blast. Thank you so much for sponsoring, and I hope we did you proud, and I hope you guys had fun tuning into this race tonight. 2 to go. It is not over yet. A great race, and it is going to be a great finish for John Honeycutt as he heads into his final lap. I don't think he went into this race expecting a win, but here we are. If he can hold it steady, we're going to bring him home a winner first time for this season.
Yeah, Jacob Palmer gets down low, way out of the way, down on the apron, the 50 through 3 and 4 for the last time. We've seen some tag the wall on exit. John Honeycutt will come across the line and win at Dover.
Winning it for FTR. Great job for him. First win of the season. Super excited, and he is out there celebrating. I'm going to try to catch him mid-celebration, try to get him in the booth. He's going to kill me, but here we go. You can see him celebrating Brody Falker. Man, phenomenal job by Brody also. These guys, what a race. John, congratulations out there. What a race. What a finish. I know you were not feeling too confident at the start of this race, but man, oh man, fantastic job out here.
Man, first of all, this is my first win ever at Shake and Bake. So, what, 5 years doing this with you guys, and yeah, wow, I cannot believe I actually got a win.
Now, like I said, you were not sounding too confident heading into this race tonight, but once you got the feeling of the handling and how the tires needed to be driven towards the end of the race,
Thanks, brother.
what was your first thoughts and how to get this win?
Man, I honestly was just telling myself just to stay patient, and that's it. Like, just save tires, just try to get a good finish, and be aggressive on the restarts. I know we were going to have a couple cautions, so we just need to get very aggressive with the restarts, get established as far as ahead we can, and pass some cars, because it's really hard to pass when everybody's on level tires, and that's it. Yeah, just coaching with Jordan and Jose and what they were doing back there, and try to help them out. And man, I cannot believe I did this. I cannot believe I won Shake and Bake. I mean, I mean, these guys are awesome, and FTR, your team, this is awesome. It's so hard to win these things. It really is. It's awesome.
It really is. It really is.
It's funny because everybody wins, Holzer and Wisdom and these guys, and no one celebrates. I just want to scream and go grab some beers and call up the women, and I don't know. I'm just excited.
He's really celebrating. I told Pete, I said, you know what? I know this guy's going to be super excited. There's going to be some yelling, so I wanted to sneak you in here to try to get that on stream. So I'm glad you're, giving that to us in the excitement. But super excited for you, and the IT defenses out there looking great.
Yes.
Man, first win with SnB, and you are the 5th different winner of the season. So congratulations, you got it done, and it's great to see you celebrate.
Yeah, I just real quick, I just want to thank High Tech Security, who's always on the car, Melody WorldWorks, IT Defenses. Man, I wish I could get out of this car, and I'll do a backflip right now. This is awesome. Thank you, FTR, everybody. Brendan Book for doing this, doing the race control. I know he had his hand full tonight. He gave me a little bit of a warning. I did almost change lanes a little too early on one of the restarts, so that almost cost me this race. And then just racing with everybody else out there. Hunter Johnson, racing with him, door banging with him, and I got a little loose off the corner, and I guess he thought I was gonna get into him, and I don't think we made contact, but he did fly towards the inside of the wall. But and then just racing with Wisdom and everybody else. Brody was awesome. He was a lot of fun. So it was awesome racing.
Absolutely, and I think you celebrated so hard. I think I just heard your engine pop.
Yep,
that motor's done. You know what? Take it out of my paycheck. I don't care. That's all
You get
right.
a jet tonight, all right?
I get a jet tonight. I have a big paycheck coming anyway, so I'll buy the motor. That's fine. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All
so
right,
much.
great
This is
job out
awesome.
there. Congrats.
Thanks.
All right, Pete, over to you. Brody Fallaker with an amazing run tonight. So much so that I thought, and you thought, he was going to get the win.
How do I follow that? Seriously. Brody, one hell of a racer. That Team FIWB #1 Camaro, very, very strong. I remember last season, as I said a little bit ago in the stream or in the broadcast, last season you finished runner-up a few times, and I told you it was only going to be a matter of time before you got that W. Tonight, second place. That one looked very, very strong. Into the corner, off the corner. Seemed like you had a little bit different of a line depending on how you were being raced. Whether you're going to go all the way up, diamond out, take that banking to help you get a great run off. It almost worked. P2 yet again, but the progress that you show season after season is phenomenal. Walk us through your race and what you think your strengths were and what the weakness was or is that put you P2.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. First of all, congrats to Honeycutt. He I don't know. I feel like if that lap car didn't get in the way at the end, I feel like I could have got back to him. But you know, definitely a deserving win. He was definitely as fast as I was. Um, to start the race, the car was tight and loose, and I kind of just messed around with the brake bias at the beginning of runs and finally found something and was able to lead a whole bunch of laps. I felt really strong in the first part, the middle of the run, and then I'd kind of have to slow my pace down and just to be just to be good at the end, the back half of a run. Um, but yeah, I mean, great job, Honeycutt. I wish I could have been up there and yeah, battled with you for the last 10 laps.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
I'll tell you what, Brody. Both you and Honeycutt, you guys didn't even start. I'm sorry, it's not where you started. In the hour long practice that we have every single week, you were sitting P18 on speed on run, and John Honeycutt he was sitting P15. So for you guys to finish first and second, where you really didn't show that much during practice, was that a little bit of sandbagging, or were you just trying to figure out exactly what you and your car had for the track? How did this runner up come to be?
I think with practice, I think it was a combination of more cars on track and the track heating up and maybe slowing down. I think I only got like 15 minutes of practice, so I kind of jumped in here late. But I kind of messed up my qualifying lap. I thought it was gonna hurt me more than it did, but we qualified 10th and just slowly worked our way up. I knew that we would be good on the short run, so figured if we could just get that track position, we'd be fine. And honestly, once I got to the lead, the clean air really helped my car even out. I was pretty even on tire wear, so uh, I just wish I should have battled for the lead a little bit more at the end.
Man, it's great, great rate. Runner-up finish. Next week we've got Kansas. In the immediate future. How you feeling about your odds there?
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple Kansas races that I feel like I could have won. I feel like I show great pace there every single time that we go to Kansas. So I feel like it is one of my better tracks. So, hopefully we don't end up runner up again.
Hey, like I said, you can't be runner-up forever. Good job, Brody, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Pete.
All right, Eliza. Tom Harmon kept Avril Lavigne comfy and clean all night. He's with you.
Mr. Consistency of the night. I'll tell you what, he gains a position over where he started at the start of the race, Bet Harmon. You had a great race. I saw you battling it out there with your teammate, Johnson. Earlier on, we saw a couple of cars passing you up for position. For me, I would think it was more strategy to just let those guys wear the tires down. What were your thoughts at the start of the race?
Yeah, that was pretty much the case. Just I knew you kind of had to baby them to have anything at the end of a long run, so we planned for that. Unfortunately, we didn't get any that really mattered as far as long run goes, because as soon as the long run would come into play, caution would come out shortly after. But yeah, that's about all I got.
All right. Well, the cautions come out. You see that the strategy is going to have to change a little bit. Did you pick up the aggression towards the middle and late part of the race here then?
Yeah, the last two I figured it was time to go and try not to overdrive the car. Unfortunately, on that last one, when me and Wisdom made a little contact, I don't know if it heated my tires, damaged my car, but immediately afterwards it went extremely loose, and I was pulling Honeycutt and Brody, but it just got to so loose that I could barely control it at the end.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw a lot of guys fishtailing back there. Extremely difficult conditions. I mean, high side, though, we did not see a ton of guys driving the high side consistently. Is it just the fact that it just wears down the tires, or is it more how it just feels up there?
A little bit of both. Especially late race, once you get a little rubber on the bottom of the track, the top will come in pretty good. But it also wears on that right rear a little bit. So on that last run, I started absolutely sending it into the corner and just letting it push off the track, trying to keep it tight. But even that wasn't working, and it can be a fun track. Dirty Air is a little rough.
We definitely saw that. Dirty Air is a lot rough. Brody even mentioned it, saying that once he got out in the clean air, it just felt so much better, kind of even things out. So definitely an issue here tonight. Qualifying so extremely important. Harmon, I got to ask, next week at Kansas, how do you feel about it?
I like Kansas. I think I got a win or two there. Hopefully we can finish in the top 3 and gain another chunk of points on O'Brien. Close this gap a little bit.
All right, you heard it from Harmon. Great job for you. Podium finish tonight. I know that this season we're going to see Brody and Harmon in victory lane. It's just a matter of time. I'm waiting for it. I know it's going to happen, Pete, but what a fun race here at Dover. The Monster Mile did not disappoint.
No, never does. It's a whole lot of great racing all the way back through. It was great to see the field kind of get spread out and then come back together. Everybody fighting for what they can get on the restarts. It's going to be interesting, very, very interesting next week at Kansas Motor Speedway. We see a whole lot of racing up high. You see those guys really throw it in, try to perform the slide jobs and get through to closer and closer to the front of the field. Have to see how all that plays out. But Eliza, as always, great being with you for yet another great Shake and Bake iRacing Cup Series race. Let's get to next week.
We'll see you guys next week at Kansas, 8:17 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It's been fun. I appreciate the chats, the follows, you name it. You guys are amazing. I know the drivers appreciate it. And to our sponsors, KerBlamKing Racing on YouTube and WoodyxCA out here on Twitch. We appreciate it so much, and we hope you guys have a great night.